Right now on CBS 12 News this morning at 6, prosecutors show surveillance video of the Parkland school shooter just moments after he shot and killed 17 people.
He asked me for a ride. He was pretty insistent on it, and I said no.
Ahead, you'll hear more from the student who came face-to-face with Nicholas Cruz as he tried to run away from police.
Plus, Nikki Fried and Charlie Crist clash in heated Democratic gubernatorial debate just weeks out from the primary election. Ahead, the pressing topics they debated on stage and where they're placing the blame for certain issues.
And I'm tracking rain that's moving onshore to start off our Friday morning. We'll take a closer look at the rest of your day as well.
It's a new day. This is CBS 12 News This Morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm Matt Lincoln.
And I'm Sam Kerrigan. We have made it to Friday. The weekend is upon us. We are tracking some rain out there. Let's get right over to meteorologist Lauren Oleski.
Sam, thanks. Yeah, showers coming ashore this morning. There's a little moisture that's moving across parts of southeast Florida today, so the rain chance is going up just a bit for us to get our Friday going. Showers moving onshore as well into Broward and Miami-Dade counties. You'll notice they're very scattered, so it's kind of on and off activity. Rain has been hovering off the coastline of St. Lucie County this morning, too. Rain right now, a few downpours moving through parts of Jupiter Farms. A little bit of rain coming through parts of Wellington as well. You'll see that here out near Royal Palm Beach. A little further south, there's rain west of 441 in West Boynton. Showers passing across Boca and the Delray Beach area. That's all moving off towards the west. There's rain further south across Palmetto Park Road, right near the Turnpike overpass there. And then there's showers coming ashore along the coastline near US 1 from Delray Beach up towards Boynton right now. It is going to get hot today. Most of the rain is for the morning, and then when the sun comes out, our temperatures will be going back up. So we're still going to get close to about 90 later on today. We'll still see the showers through the morning, and then most of the activity pushes inland later. So I do expect more sunshine to emerge by the early afternoon. Matt, Sam.
Lauren, thank you. On-time traffic now at 6:01. We are looking at the drive time from West Palm Beach to Port St. Lucie. Looking good there on I-95. That drive will take you just under 40 minutes.
Well, in just hours, jurors will be back at the Broward County Courthouse to wrap up week 1 of the Parkland school shooter's sentencing trial. Jurors have heard emotional testimony from teachers and students and seen some graphic video from the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Now prosecutors are showing surveillance camera footage for jurors to see every move that Nicholas Cruz took after his shooting spree. Video shows Cruz blending in with students evacuating campus and then going to nearby stores and restaurants, all leading up to his arrest. Now, our Kara Duffy's been following the trial for us all week long. She's joining us now live from downtown West Palm Beach. And Kara, one student retelling a very harrowing story where he came face to face with Cruz right after the shooting. What can you tell us?
That's right, Matt. One of the stops that Nicholas Cruz made after carrying out the mass shooting was to a nearby McDonald's, and that's where surveillance video shows he climbed into a booth with then freshman John Wilford, who didn't know Cruz. But what happened next, beyond chilling. Now, John didn't know this at the time, but his sister Maddie had been shot several times and seriously injured in the school shooting. While at the McDonald's, John said he tried to make small talk with Cruz after he climbed into the booth with him about the chaos going on at the school, but said Cruz didn't have much to say back. Then Cruz unsuccessfully tried to get a ride from John, Maddie's brother, who had been waiting there at the McDonald's for their mom to pick them up. Here's what he told the jury about this exchange.
He asked me for a ride. He was pretty insistent on it, and I said no. I wasn't really thinking much of it. I mean, I was just trying to get home. My sister wasn't answering her phone. I was nervous. I was panicked. I also had a bad gut feeling about it, because I'm a nice person. I would offer somebody a ride like that, but I just wasn't thinking in the moment.
Cruz then walked away and was arrested about a half hour later by an officer with the neighboring Coconut Creek Police Department. That officer also took the stand yesterday. Now, another compelling piece of evidence, jurors saw surveillance video yesterday that showed Cruz at a Subway sandwich shop located inside a nearby Walmart just moments after the shootings. That's where the store manager testified Cruz bought a frozen icy drink before he walked to that McDonald's. And keep in mind, the defense didn't want any of this video or information shared with the jury. They asked for anything that happened in the moments following the mass shooting, that it not be submitted as evidence, saying that it wasn't part of the actual crime itself. But of course, the judge denied their request, which is why the jury did see all of that surveillance video yesterday. Now, the trial and testimony will resume later this morning at 10 o'clock. It'll be starting an hour later than it has been earlier throughout the week. Matt, Sam.
And it has been an emotional week in that courtroom. Kara, thank you. CBS 12 News following every step of this sentencing trial. You can watch it live on all of our online platforms. Make sure to visit CBS12.com and download our free CBS 12 News app.
6:05 is now the time. Last night, the January 6th committee laying out what former President Donald Trump was doing while rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol. As we take a live look there this morning, former White House aides testifying that former President Trump knew the violent attack was taking place and was watching it unfold on television from a White House dining room. Both who resigned that day recall seeing Trump's tweet that Vice President Mike Pence did not have the courage to overturn the election results.
That it looked like fuel being poured on the fire. So that was the moment that I decided that I was going to resign.
Really latch on to every word and every tweet that he says. And so I think that in that moment, for him to tweet out the message about Mike Pence, it was him pouring gasoline on the fire.
The committee also showed White House logs that did not have record of what former President Trump officially did during the attack. The committee says they'll hold more hearings in September after reviewing more evidence.
Now to a live look at the White House at 6:06, where President Biden is recovering after testing positive for COVID-19. The president began a 5-day course of Paxlovid and is doing fine, according to White House staff. Paxlovid is an antiviral drug that reduces the risk of severe COVID. You're looking now at video the president shared after testing positive. The White House says the president's symptoms began Wednesday night with fatigue, a runny nose, and a dry cough. He will isolate for 5 days and will not return to normal activities until he tests negative. The president already canceled the visit he had scheduled to Florida next week.
Last night, gubernatorial candidates Nikki Fried and Charlie Crist came face-to-face in their first and only debate just about a month from the primary election. Both clashed on affordable housing and abortion rights. Fried accused Crist of being pro-life his entire life and appointing radical extremists to the state Supreme Court.
So you want to know why our right to privacy is going to be overturned here in the state of Florida? It's because of decisions that Charlie made when he was governor.
Now, Crist denied those claims and spoke about vetoing anti-abortion bills during his career.
It's just not true, and you shouldn't say those kind of things because you're trying to muddy it up. And let's understand what's going on here. You're losing this campaign. It's time for desperation, and now it's on full display all over the state of Florida, and I'm sorry to see that.
Now, both agreed on repealing the state's new parental rights and education law and that more needs to be done on gun control. You have 3 more days to register for the primary election. That also applies if you're a registered voter who wants to change your party affiliation. You can do all this at registertovoteflorida.gov. Deadline's on Monday.
6:08 right now. This morning, we're learning Representative Sheila Sherfilis McCormick, who represents parts of Palm Beach County, filed a lawsuit against a former opponent. In a $1 million defamation suit, she's accusing Democrat Dale Holness and his aide of damaging her reputation and public image. Sherfilis McCormick says a text message from his aide on behalf of the Holness campaign claims she bought her seat in Congress. You may remember she finished just 5 votes ahead of Holness in the 20th Congressional District Democratic primary last year. She eventually beat Republican Jason Mariner with 79% of the votes in a special election.
Well, this morning, Disney is making a name change to a popular attraction to create a more inclusive environment. Disney took a stance against the state's parental rights and education law, which limits instruction on sexual orientation and identity in grades K through 3rd. Well, next month, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, where kids dress as their favorite Disney character, will change its staff titles. The staff, formerly known as Fairy Godmothers in Training, will now get a more gender-neutral title, Fairy Godmothers Apprentices. Looks kind of the same. The difference is the apostrophe. Fairy Godmothers in Training make it seem like they're all talking about females. Fairy Godmothers Apprentices with the apostrophe makes it seem like you're being trained by a female. This seems pretty minor, but some parents are not happy about it.
It's not going to work out well for them in the end, because I do not think that customers and parents and families, they're not looking for me to, take on breaking the gender binary.
Some, though, say it is critical to create an inclusive environment for every age group.
I think there's a lot of fundamental misunderstandings of who non-binary people are and transgender people are. They've always been here. They've just had to suffer through this quietly, through the bullying, through the mental illness. And we're trying to create a world where those things don't have to be realities.
The boutique will reopen at Magic Kingdom in Orlando on August 25th. It was closed for more than 2 years due to the pandemic.
6:10 is now the time. A Boca Raton man is recovering after a speeding car crashed into his home, leaving him in a coma.
Many of the accidents ended up in my front yard. So it took us years just to get a stop sign in the three-way corner.
Now, neighbors who have lived in the area for decades say this is not the first time something like this has happened. The changes they now want to see.
And a local university is busting at the seams just a week before, or just a few weeks before the start of classes. Next, we'll tell you what the plan is for a lot of college students that right now have no place to live.
And as we head to break now, here's a live look at a cloudy Jensen Beach on this Friday morning. Meteorologist Lauren Oleski tracking some showers out there. We're going to get a check on that forecast.